Okay, so this is a bit of a long one. I'm gonna try to explain what I did, and then I'm gonna tell you guys what I wish I had done different. Please don't mind the noise in the background. I have cats and foster cats, and anyway, so the things that I wish I did different so that if you go to make one, you can learn from my mistakes. And I thought about making a pattern for this, but I decided not to because I don't know enough about sizing, the differences in sizing, and I don't really have like I don't know, it was a lot more than I was willing to do, and I felt like, putting out a halfway pattern wouldn't really be fair. Anyway, so first of all, what I did was I had never made any type of spiral before. So, or with the two different colors. So I went to YouTube and I learned how to make the spiral with two different yarns. And then I kept expanding it until it reached where I wanted it to, until I got to where I wanted my armholes to be. I'm plus size, so it was pretty far out there. And here is where the first thing I wish I had done a little bit different, which is I wish instead of just going side to side with the armholes, I wish I had kept going a little bit and then put the armholes higher up instead of directly at the middle where they are now. If I would have put them higher up, that would have helped it be a little bit longer before it got to be too overwhelming. And the fit would have been different. I would have had less up top, which I do like having this bit up top because it can work like a hood if you want it to, and then it can also fold down like a collar if you want to, or you can bunch it up and have it, keep your neck warm. So I do like that, but I feel like it was a bit too much. So I would have gone further and then just spaced out the armholes. So what I did for the armholes is I measured how much space a shirt that I have that I like the fit of. I measured how wide the armhole is at the shoulder. And then I did enough chains to equal half that. Because whenever you're gonna have, your chains, and then you skip the stitches, however many chains you made. So for mine, I chained 33, and then I skipped 33 stitches, and then started back up again in the 34th stitch, and then continued to make my spiral around. Obviously, you're gonna want to do it on the other side too. And then, I continued to do my spiral. So then when I came back around to the point where I had started the armholes and where I skipped the chains, where I skipped the stitches to match the amount of chains that I had, I just worked into the chains to continue the spiral. So then as you go, you're going to have a hole here and an armhole here. And like I said, I wish I had done it, instead of doing it at the halfway point, I wish I had done it higher up. I think I would have liked to fit better, and I think I'll do another one and make it that way. But anyway, so we're going to at that point, you're going to continue in the spiral. Don't worry about making your sleeves yet. You're going to continue in the spiral until it is as long as you want it, and also until you have as much in the front, as much frill in the front as you want. You can always go back and add more if you don't. Oh, there's the kitten. Say hi, PJ. You're covered in catnip. So you're gonna want to if you feel like you want more later, you can continue the spiral, which I may continue the spiral. I don't really know. I don't think I'm gonna put any more work into this one. But then once you fasten off and then you're ready to work on the sleeves, what I did was see on this side, I stopped. Well, the last one that I make sure your colors alternate still, even when you attach the sleeve. You know, you want to, don't put your colored yarn next to your black and white yarn or whatever you use, you know. So then I started to decrease. And for this part, being that I wasn't using a pattern, let me move this over. Okay. So since I wasn't using a pattern, I went ahead and kept trying it on. I tried to sleeve on every couple of rows to make sure that it was decreasing in a way that I wanted it to. There's another cat meowing in the background, sorry. So, for example, the first time I did it, it was way too big. So I threw up a few rows. Write it down. Write down what you're doing. Write down what works. If it doesn't work, scratch it out, because you're going to need to do an identical arm on the other side. So I, see, the other thing that I wish I had done was I wish I had made the shoulder part smaller. I made this part a little too big. I forgot to account for negative ease and the fact that it would stretch, and it's just way too big in the shoulder area. My cats are mad. So then, okay, I'm back. Sorry, I didn't want my cats to start fighting. Anyway, so once it got to the point where it fit like I wanted it to, which is right about here, I just went straight and I just crocheted around, you know, did my double crochets around. And then, so then when I was right about the elbow area is when I decided that I was going to start maybe an inch or two down below the elbows, when I decided I was going to start the bell sleeve. And with the bell sleeves, I did the same thing. I placed decreases around, I think for this one, I think I decreased 4 times for each row. And then for the bell sleeve, and really it's gonna vary depending on the shape of your arms. I have really fat upper arms, so you may need to decrease more. I'm not really sure, how your body shape is. Everybody's different. So anyway, so when I got to the bell sleeve part, I really like the shape of these sleeves, and what worked for me was I increased twice in the first row, where I alternated. One row, the first row I increased by 2, and then the next row I just double crocheted around. So then I alternated, increasing by 2 every other row until it got to the length that I wanted. And again, keep trying it on. You want to make sure it fits. It can fit, if you're using acrylic yarn, it can fit a little tighter than you want it to, because it's going to stretch. When you wash it, it's going to relax. Or if you steam block it, it's going to relax, so you're going to have extra room. So then I turned around and I did the same thing on this side. I wrote it down. So it took me a lot less time than the first sleeve took. But all in all, I would give this, for myself, I think for the colors and the design, everything, I would give it definitely like an 8 out of 10. But for fit, probably a 6.5 out of 10. But I learned a lot, and I think I'll make another one. So if you need me to clarify anything, let me know, and I can. Just kidding, I'm back. So I worked this up in double crochet because I live in the South, and it's hot. We don't really get cold enough for me to need anything, super thick. So I wanted it to be a little bit more airy so I could wear it more. And if you want something thicker, you can try half double crochet instead of double crochet, which will elongate your colors a little bit. Maybe not too much, but it will elongate them just a little bit, which isn't a bad thing. And the other thing was that I used a 6mm crochet hook for it. And so, yeah, that's it. I mean, not really much more to it. It was a fairly quick project for me. I think I did it in about 3 or 4 days. I did have to stop for a day or two to wait for the more yarn to come in, but total working days was about 3 or 4.